Hello and welcome to Dumbphones UK. I'm Joseph, I'm a stand-up comic from the UK. I look at dumber, or in this case, dumb phones from the UK. And today we're looking at the Nokia 8210 4G, and we're going to look at the internet. So please do stick around, watch this video to see what this little baby is able to do on the internet. Now, first thing, it can't connect to Wi-Fi, so everything that I'm going to be doing is going to be through 4G. Just as a heads up, please do like, please do subscribe. It really helps the channel. It means I can buy more devices, not more Nokias, just more different devices. So I can basically test them and give you more and more information on phones that are slightly different to our iPhones and our Samsungs and our Googles that are out there. Here comes the video. Catch you at the end.
So I'm just going to unlock the phone and we're going to hop into the default browser on this device. Now it uses the Opera Mini browser. Opera? Who knows? But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's the Opera browser here. And by default you have some bookmarks already included. Again, I've not set these, so I'm just going to hop into Google and we're going to start by clicking in that box. Now, as you can see, typing setup, you don't have T9 typing on this device, so you have to click your buttons all the way through to find your letter, and I'm just going to search for Fulham Football Club. Now, I am testing the device here because the Fulham website is pretty complex and has a lot of images, has a lot of things to load. So we're just going to hop through the accept or reject cookies from Google as standard. That comes up when you're searching for something new. And as you can see here, I'm just using the keypad of the Nokia to scroll down to the website. And you can see my cursor moving around here, and I'm just going to select an area, click the middle button and zoom in. We can see that it's rendering, but it's such an intensive website, I think I'm going to head somewhere else. So I click the action button and I'm just going to type in the BBC. The reason I'm going for the BBC is because I know they have a mobile optimized website. I'm pretty confident Fulham do for smartphones, but maybe not for this type of device. And so we're going to hop into the BBC. You can see me typing that in here. And once we go, we're going to see how this renders on the device. So there we go. That has now loaded. And you can see it's the same again. We can see the cursor moving around and I just click to zoom in. And I can scroll through this and the news is fairly bleak. So I'm scrolling through to try and find something that isn't bleak. And sure, that story is as well. So we're going to move further down and we're going to head to sport, because when you need something uplifting, sport seems to be the only option. So I'm just going to hop in here. One thing I have noticed with this browser is it does give you an ad occasionally, and on this device it never really works. It can't render it, so it's not a great user experience. And as with any new device, I have to accept cookies again, which I've done, and you can see that it sort of renders on this screen. I have to move left and right and up and down to find the information. And now I've loaded the text, I'd like to see this text in a bit of a bigger font. It's okay for me to read, but I do appreciate that not everyone will be able to read that. So I'm just hopping into settings and I'm changing the text size to medium. I'm saving that. And what I'm doing is I'm clicking the menu button and reloading to see how this renders. And you can see that it doesn't change the font size. That's a problem. I've just hopped back to the start page and I've gone into Google and I am searching for YouTube, and specifically my channel on YouTube. I just think that it's going to be good to see what this phone can do. Now, I'm not expecting much. I'm not expecting that this phone is going to be able to do this, but I do think it's worth checking. So what I've done, again, as ever, got to accept those cookies or reject them if that's something you want to do, and then we wait for it to load. Just as a reminder, this is using 4G to load. It's not using Wi-Fi, so obviously slightly slower there. You can see the description of my channel. You can see that I do have shorts on the channel, and I'm just going to click one of those shorts to see whether it can render. Surprisingly, it obviously can't render this YouTube video. It sort of renders what it thinks it's going to look like, and if you click the play icon, which I'm doing here, it just connects and reloads the same page again. Nothing happens, but we didn't expect this to work anyway. So now I'm moving on to Facebook. Now, Facebook comes by default on the phone. It is just a link to the mobile Facebook site. Eagle-eyed viewer among you will see the light has changed. That's because I wanted to go in a bit more depth into Facebook. Now you can see that I'm just typing in my email address, and then this is where you type in your password. I do like that it stars out your password. I think that's a good feature, and so we're just going to hop in, and you can see here that I am now able to log in. And again, one of those pesky ads has come up, and I think it is worth mentioning those because they are a little bit of a pain. But once I've clicked onto that ad and I've just clicked back, it's taken me into Facebook again. And you can see here that what I'm doing is I'm using the little keypad just where my thumb is, and I'm just basically clicking down, 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 down. and that's how you navigate this page. I appreciate it's not that fun, and it sounded a little bit like a song when I was saying that. That's the way to do it. You can click the right of the keypad or the left of the keypad, and it will scroll sort of a portion down the page, but we'll come to that in a sec. Now I'm just going to hop into groups because I'm trying to find what this phone is and isn't able to do on Facebook. Obviously, on a Facebook app on our smartphones, we've got Marketplace, we've got things like that. But on this one, it just gives you a list of groups, and I'm going to have a little search for Marketplace as well, just to see whether it's able to find the Facebook Marketplace. I think it's useful. People would want to know that. So here we go. And it's not able to load. When I've clicked search, the results for Marketplace are nothing. It doesn't return anything, and it just puts me back to the home page again. So I'm just going to look at the status update, I think they're called. I haven't used this in a long old time, and I don't plan on using it, but I'm going to go through and I'm going to try and add a photo. Now, photo, if you scroll down to it using the down button, you click, and then you can choose. It's like an old school file selection process, and as you can see, when I click choose, it opens up my file path there, and I can go through to photos and select from there. There are some filters if you wanted to use those, very basic, but they are there, and I think it's worth calling that out. I'm just going to hop back up to the what's on your mind. So when I click that, you can see here the what's on your mind. I delete that out, and I can type in my status update, what I want to tell all of my friends, and you would just go through here and click away, basically type in what you want, and you click OK. And then you can also go in and set who you want to share that with. I know that people are cautious about security, and so you can hop in and you can change your sharing settings to not just be with friends. You can set it to specific people, public, friends, or friends accept. You can always pick someone you don't want to read it, so you can do that as well. Just one thing to note, it does get rid of what you've typed if you change that. Pages side of things, so again, when I click pages on here, it just says suggested pages, and that is it. I don't have any pages. I'm not a member of a page, so I can create a page, you can see at the bottom, but when I click more suggested pages, again, nothing appears. So I feel like that feature perhaps doesn't work as we wanted it to on this part. I don't know if pages is still a big thing on Facebook. Other thing that I wanted to show was groups, because I know that people are members of groups, and I'm just picking a random group. I'm not a member of this group, and it's about Pokemon cards, and I just wanted to show that it is able to render photos on here. So as you can see, I've clicked on a photo, and it's pretty hard to see. You can't actually zoom, so I'm going to go into the settings. I'm going to change the settings and load photos in a higher resolution. And there we go. The image quality is now set to high, and I'm just popping into the menu, and I'm going to refresh this on the tools bar, reload. There we go. And you can see that it is slightly bigger. Still quite hard to see, but I do think it's worth showing you that you can sort of make small tweaks and changes to try and help out with these little bits and bobs. And the final thing that I wanted to try was turning off the mobile view that is set on this site. Again, turn that off, and I'm reloading it, but it doesn't change anything. So I think it's fair to say that, again, this is going to be used for fairly basic Facebook stuff. But I would say that's probably, is that not Facebook these days anyway? Who knows? But anyway, here's me logging out of Facebook, so we can move on to something else. Now, again, I don't expect Instagram to work on here. I'm not silly. You're not silly. But I do think that it's worth me showing you this. So again, I'm typing in Instagram on here. In the browser, I'm clicking OK. I'm letting it load. And as expected, what we get is the Instagram logo and the From Meta information. And that is all that page is. There is nothing else this page can do. So, it's what we expected. This phone would be absolutely huge, I'm sure of it, if WhatsApp worked. And obviously it doesn't have a WhatsApp app on the phone itself. I would have covered that, and I would have spent a lot of time showing you that, obviously. But I wanted to know whether we can do WhatsApp web, maybe a little workaround. So what I've done is I've clicked the download button. I'm scrolling, I'm going to click it, and it doesn't work. It just keeps taking you back to the download page. So again, as expected, it doesn't work, but I wanted to showcase that to you anyway. So on to the next one. Where are we heading next? I think we're going to head to Gmail. So here we go, I'm typing in Gmail, and we are going to see whether I can load my emails. I think it's worth noting, can I load my emails through the browser? I'm not doing this through any email apps that are on there, and it's loading Gmail, and the good news is the site loads, and I can type in my address, and I can type in my password, and things seem to look alright. So I go through all of this process, and then Click into it and you'll see that I get to a stage where I have to do two-factor authentication. I do that and what happens is it takes me to a forbidden 403 page. Doesn't work.
There we have it. That was me looking at the internet capabilities of this Nokia device. I would argue that it's able to do very basic internet scrolling, but I think that is what we all assumed it would be able to do anyway. I wasn't expecting Instagram to work. I wasn't expecting YouTube to work. I wasn't expecting WhatsApp to work. So just if you want to check some football scores, if you just need to check the opening times or something, well, this device is able to do it. If you want to do anything more, probably not going to be the right device for you. So there you go. I hope you're well. Behave yourselves. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.